The situation that I would like to discuss today is about a hemophiliac patient presenting to the immunizations department for vaccination. The patient believed that he received the vaccines as a child, but could not support this with his current records. It was realized that we also do not have standing orders for this type of patient. Due to his risk of bleeding and lack of personal history, we did not give him any vaccines at this time, but a titer was drawn instead in order to investigate the level of his hepatitis B immunity. The RN supervisor was notified right away, and a high-performance work team was established, creating a committee to implement and create a standing order for the hemophilia patient. Our leadership framework begins at the top with our medical director. He is an approachable person and is open to our feedback and suggestions. His support was given to us immediately in regards to creating a hemophilia standing order. The RN supervisor reports directly to the medical director. She's a great leader for us. She promotes autonomous nursing styles. She is an effective researcher and scholarly writer as well. She makes daily rounds to each department in campus health. She problem solves for charting issues, financial issues, insurance matters, and helping us adhere to HIPAA compliance. She's very supportive to the RNs in our immunizations department. She promotes open communication, and she does stay up to date on CDC schedules and enhanced surveillance surveys, but she mainly relies on us to report to her accurate information regarding department activity on a day-to-day basis. The organizational culture is a positive one at Campus Health. All are supportive and respectful to each other's opinions and educational backgrounds. The medical director will evaluate the data presented by the team and establish the standing order with our collaborative support. The RN supervisor is to oversee and approve the research and data that we have looked into, and she will be the one to present that information to the medical director. There are 4 RNs in our department, and we support each other to be creative within this structured framework. We do work under the guidance of standing order policies, adhering to CDC guidelines. We researched into the National Hemophilia Foundation for most of our information on how to start this protocol. We looked back into previous standing orders as to how this new order should be written. The teamwork was positive. We had one initial meeting and were able to write a new policy within 2 to 3 days. At Campus Health Service, the patient safety and comfort is the focus for the standing order. A hemophilia patient poses the risk of profound hematoma after a vaccine injection. So we researched through the National Hemophilia Foundation website, along with CDC guidelines, on how to deliver the vaccine to the patient. We found that all vaccines should be given the next day after an anti-hemophilia medication was taken. Although there is uncertainty due to the lack of research in this area as to which intramuscular vaccinations are effective if given subcutaneously, we did find that hepatitis A and B, as well as the pneumococcal and polio vaccines, can all be given effectively as a subcutaneous injection. It was advised to use a 23 gauge or smaller needle and to place firm pressure to the injection site for 2 to 3 minutes post-vaccine. If the patient has some site tenderness or develops an immune defense response like fever, malaise, or body aches, they should choose acetaminophen rather than ibuprofen for these ailments. The interdependent care team of the immunizations department consists of 4 RNs that are a collaborative team of good communicators and have a shared trust and respect for one another. We RNs are the frontline microsystem observers and are able to apply our exclusive immunizations experience and knowledge to the patient-centered care. We focus on patient safety and education for every patient, including the hemophilia patient. We have clear expectations. We know and look for the strengths of our individual team. And our team is what our medical director and RN supervisor trust and rely on for this highly specialized department within Campus Health. The use of technology at Campus Health has been somewhat slow in its start due to our recent HIPAA compliance and confidentiality adherence. Although we do have some technology set up, our immunizations records, for example, are available to the patient by their computer or mobile device. We use electronic consent forms and online appointment setting. We work side by side with patients, engaging them in the use of technology for particular websites, which are pre-approved by the RN staff. For example, CDC, Travex, which is a website that assists patients in their travel around the world. We would rather our patients see websites that we approve of first, that are useful to them, omitting false rumors regarding vaccinations, and reducing frightening information. In the process for healthcare delivery improvement, the RN understands the best that he or she can the patient's needs in a complex system. The RN can promote process improvement by simply listening to the patient. Understand the patient may have fears and worries about vaccine pain and side effects and needles. Many of our patients are concerned about requirements of vaccines for entry into different schools or colleges. For example, entry into the College of Nursing within the University of Arizona. So staying up to date to any of those policies and department needs is very important to the patient. Being timely, promote patient flow while still meeting the needs of the patient. Following CDC guidelines and standing orders, and verbalizing that you know them, showing them standing orders, being knowledgeable and professional about these guidelines is very important to the patient. Giving your medications by the 5 rights of medication administration. Very simply, sometimes verbalizing out loud which vaccines the patients are getting, how they are delivered, of course, side effects, and patient care afterward is very professional and important to our patients. The 5 Ps are a quality improvement pattern that we use within our microsystem at Campus Health. Starting with our purpose of a collaborative team focusing on patient safety. We have established and defined roles within our team to assess effectiveness of plans and goals that we have set forth. We compile patient satisfaction survey results. We have made great changes and improvements based on these surveys and knowing what our patients want or don't want. The patient's safety and comfort measures are very important to us, and we want them to trust us. We work side by side with them, providing patient education tools such as approved websites or handouts, engaging the patient in their own care, reducing their side effects, hopefully, knowing the schedule of when to return for the next vaccination in their series, We even have implemented follow-up calls for some of our more high-risk patients. Our professionals are observers of the microsystem. We are the researchers. We build the relationships with our staff and the patients. And we're fortunate to receive continuing education opportunities from the University of Arizona. The process of our standing orders written for our patients, the hemophiliac patient as well as all patients, the storage, the fibrates and medication are all measured by daily refrigeration and temperature logs, monthly vaccine medication expiration date checkups, up to date on vaccine information sheets that each patient gets when they get a vaccine. The patterns that we follow are revolved around the patient, but mostly trying to stay up to date for departments within the University of Arizona that affect us, researching patterns through Pima County Health Department. They have an enhanced surveillance report that we check daily for current trends, for example, on flu up into measles, and of course the CDC updates, and staying flexible for variables that occur, pandemic events, and so forth that can change a typical microsystem model. A specific aspect targeted for improvement would be our leadership function. A few changes I see as necessary is the need for an on-site supervisor who is the observer within the department framework, who is on site, someone who can witness firsthand the patient flow and demand. This could enhance the understanding of how the RN works and the patient's needs and the RN's needs within the immunizations department. Creating a team that has a more focused leader is very important. They would be able to more readily research and analyze problems, up-to-date information, even looking into future missing standing orders, but also to have each RN alternate roles that serve the framework. This would serve a greater understanding of each individual within the department, how it feels to work in this area, for example, so this is a surveillance area as opposed to the research area, as opposed to the documentation areas. Knowing each other's roles can provide a quicker response for departmental changes for future needs. Daily reports, having a log or website or blog for each day for the rapid changing information that we see daily will create an optimal knowledge base for all the RNs, and no information would be left behind if it were all written down or reported in some surveillance in a daily basis. With the new knowledge I have gained from my master's education, and if indeed I were leading the plan for the immunizations department's healthcare delivery, I would of course have the on-site supervisor, as I've been mentioning, but I would also divide and assign responsibilities of research to each RN in the department, and bringing this information back to a weekly reflective and engaging meeting. A meeting with only positive feedback, promoting each individual's strengths and contributions. I would also like to investigate other facilities as to how they provide care for their patients and make some comparisons and strive for improvement. Learn more about HIT, which is Health Information Technology Promotion, and working with our IT department on a monthly basis, working to introduce new technology towards the improvement of patient-centered care while also adhering to HIPAA policies.